too. But anyway, continuing off, Jean gains the trust of Eliza, which I think is pretty funny because Eliza's all geeking out about J'onn J'onzz being a Martian. She asks like a bunch of questions, you know. How do you shapeshift? And are you a small green man? And he's like, no, I'm a big green man. And he's like, oh, that's amazing! How do you shapeshift and all that? She's asking so many questions because, you know, she's a doctor, right? A doctor scientist kind of lady. And she's so interested, like, you're an alien and all this stuff. And she's just asking a bunch of questions about his anatomy and all, and his powers and all that. And John not only gains the trust of Eliza, he promises to keep an eye on Kara and Alex, which I think is really cool. Despite the whole fact, you know, they're on the run, he still keeps his promise, which pretty much shows J'onn J'onzz' loyalty, you know, to Jeremiah about taking care of the daughters, you know. And I think it's also because, you know, we all learned that apparently in this storyline, J'onn J'onzz had 2 daughters of his own and, of course, a wife that were all killed. And so, in a way, he's also doing this for himself because Alex and Kara to him are just like his 2 daughters, you know what I mean, that he lost. But anyway, Alex gets a call from Kara, and Kara asks Alex about, you know, did you find Project Cadmus? And she's like, no, not yet, we're in hiding right now. And Alex wants to help Kara because, you know, Alex and Jean found out about National City. But, Kara all warns Alex for both of them not to come because, especially Alex, because of Myriad. And Jean agrees because, you know, Alex is human. She'll automatically go under that control no matter what. But Jean says he can go because he's a Martian and most likely will not be affected by Myriad because, you know, he's a Martian, and he could probably block it off with his telepathy and all that stuff. So he tells Alex to stay behind while he goes back to National City. Mainly because Alex still needs to go look for Jeremiah Danvers for Cadmus, right? And the both of them unfortunately do not tell Eliza about the fact that John had pretty much mind-read someone and shows that Jeremiah is alive. They did not tell Eliza that, mainly because she's dealing with a lot, especially with Myriad and the whole alien thing and everything. And Alex manages to convince Jean to let her tag along to go back to National City under the protection of Jean's telepathy to protect her from Myriad. But when they return, unfortunately, Indigo knows because she pretty much knows that the Martian's coming back. So she's ready and waiting for both of them, and they are lured into a surprise attack by Indigo. Jean almost gains the upper hand, but unfortunately, she comes back. Indigo manages to come back from the fight and attacks Jean, and he ends up getting stabbed, and he just falls unconscious. We don't know if he's unconscious or dead, and because of that, you know, we don't know the fate of J'onn J'onzz. We don't know if he's just unconscious from the stab wound or actually dead. And because he's unconscious or dead, the mind block on Alex is unfortunately gone. And unfortunately, from what I know, he's either unconscious or dead. So I'm guessing the mind block is gone from Alex. But apparently, Indigo manages to get the upper hand and attacks Jean, and she ends up taking Alex hostage and then orders a weakened Jean to stand down or she'll kill Alex. And Jean, he unfortunately collapses. We don't know if he's unconscious or dead. Indigo is convinced that Jean has died. But, from the looks of it, he's either unconscious or dead, and from what I saw, I think the telepathy block that he put on Alex is gone, because she looked like she's being controlled by Myriad. I don't know. But anyway, Maxwell comes up with a plan to basically drop a kryptonite bomb on the city, which apparently he made that bomb in the beginning when he first didn't trust Supergirl. You know what I mean? But like, he's like, if we drop this kryptonite bomb on the city, it could wipe out his Kryptonian army. But unfortunately, he said Supergirl and Superman have to get as far away as possible because they're going to get affected too. Unfortunately, the kryptonite bomb on the city is also given the green light by General Lane under the orders of the president. And despite going along with this plan in the beginning, which could wipe out not just the Kryptonians but a good chunk of the humans, Supergirl ends up receiving an opposition from Kat about how that's not who you are, and there has to be another way. Instead of killing, you're better than that. You know what I mean? And Supergirl and Kat manage to convince Max. Let me rephrase that, guys. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember some of the stuff in this episode because it's kind of hard. But anyway, Supergirl ends up receiving opposition from Kat. Maxwell demands to know whether Supergirl is with him or not. Obviously, Kat is very against this idea because not only is Supergirl and Superman also in danger of dying because they're both Kryptonian, she's against killing in general, especially since this bomb could wipe out a good chunk of National City as well, human-wise. You know, Supergirl asks Maxwell what made him who he is now, and basically he tells her that, you know, he knew what was going to happen to his parents, but nobody listened to him, and because no one listened to him, his parents ended up dying, and so because of that, that's why he is the way he is now. Very, guarded, very, taking everything with, basically doing things his own way, you know, without asking people permission. He does his own stuff, because last time he asked people to, you know, hey, listen, the faulty suits are going to kill my parents, but no one listened, so he does things his own way, and he's all hard in heart and all that stuff because of it. And in the beginning, you know, Kat is still upset because Supergirl in the beginning goes along with Max's plan, mainly because out of fear, and she pretty much tells Supergirl someone has to find the courage to take a stand, and because of that, Kara ends up coming up with an idea, and they manage to convince Max to also go along with the plan and not go along with the kryptonite bomb, and they manage to arrive at Lord Technologies, which is like a fairly old building, and not that, sorry. They end up going to Lord Technologies, and Supergirl manages to convince Max to use his feelings about his parents by honoring them, as well as her own parents, by making a choice that won't involve the kryptonite bomb or any other weapons. And so, back at Non's secret location, he and Indigo are ready to greet Alex, who I thought was under Myriad after J'onn J'onzz either collapsed or died. I thought she was, you know, I thought the whole mind protection thing was gone and she was under Myriad, right? But apparently she's still safe. And so Non and Indigo greet a now very alert Alex, and Non tells her that he wanted her to see her suffer the same way Astra did, because he found out from Indigo that Alex was the one that killed Astra, right? But despite Alex telling Non that Astra lost interest in Myriad, he isn't convinced, and Indigo manages to convince Non that she knows how to hurt both Alex and Kara, right? And so, you know, Non goes with Indigo's plans, and meanwhile at an undisclosed location, Kara, Kat, and Max, they're setting up a counter signal to try to fight against Myriad, which they're going to broadcast at an old analog signal from this old TV station that Kat owns. It's a very old-ass building. Apparently, Kat owned a very old TV station. And they're there, and they came up with this, apparently, a counter signal to try to counteract with Myriad. And they're planning to broadcast it to see if it could counteract with Myriad, right? And, unfortunately, someone shows up, and, you know, Supergirl goes out to see who it is, while Kat and Max, she tells them, stay here, work on the signal. She goes out and sees, unfortunately, Alex is mind-controlled by Myriad, Non/Myriad, and, unfortunately, she's wearing kryptonite armor and is challenging Kara to fight to the death. Oh my god, so much shit is happening here, like, we finally figure out what the hell Myriad is. We also learn, apparently, from Allura that there's no counteraction to Myriad from what they know of. Seeing Max actually be somewhat of a hero. Also the fact that he sent Kat earrings in hope that she would wear them to protect herself I thought that was a good sign of, hope that he could be a good guy, and then, Supergirl and Cat managing to convince Max to help them and be a good guy and honor his parents in a good way was a pretty cool thing to see. And also seeing, what was her name? Maxima, which pretty cool, because I remember her name. I remember she was involved with Superman somehow, but I don't remember the main details, but it was really cool to see her in this episode. I'm not sure if this is the first time we see her. To me it is. And seeing Kara pretty much take out the mind-controlled DEO without seriously killing them. Unfortunately, seeing one human die really sucked. Rest in peace to, what's her name? What was her name? Rest in peace to the coworker Kelly, cause damn, that was brutal. That really was. Seeing Eliza Danvers geek over J'onn J'onzz is the funniest shit ever. She's like, "You're an alien!" and all that stuff. I thought that was funny. Seeing J'onn J'onzz posing as somebody else besides Hank and Supergirl was pretty cute. Seeing him pose as a little boy was pretty funny. I really am hoping that, J'onn is just unconscious from the stab wound. I hope he's not dead. I'm praying to God he's not dead. Judging by the preview, though, I want to say he is alive. I saw a small glimpse of Supergirl standing next to what looked like J'onn J'onzz, so I'm hoping he is alive. And, props to Maxwell Lord somewhat being a good guy in this episode. Props to Cat for giving hope to Supergirl and convincing Supergirl to not be a killer, and then helping her convince Max to be a hero. Cat Grant, true hero of today. I'm just saying. But anyway, I am looking forward to the next episode because it is the season finale of Supergirl. Episode 20 of Season 1 of Supergirl is the season finale titled Better Angels. And I cannot wait because we see a battle against a kryptonite armored sister versus Kara. And it looks like, judging by the preview, that Kara is planning to sacrifice herself. So I am looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. This is my reaction rant to Supergirl Season 1, Episode 19, titled Myriad. And rest in peace, Kelly. Rest in peace. Goodbye, guys.